All right, hello there, and welcome to my YouTube channel today again. And as usual, it promises you much value, information, knowledge, and a lot of wisdom that you can use to engage life. So, today, very quickly, I want to look at the 4 levels of value. It's a concept developed by someone called Myron Goldens, and very quickly, I'll list them out and then say a couple of things concerning them. The 4 levels of value. What I'm looking at is generally, I'm looking at how to become rich from point zero. In other words, that you are starting out the journey from zero. The issue is most of the books, most of the seminars, most of the conferences and teachings about how to make money, they tell you, maybe for instance, invest money or you save money or whatever. But you see, I'm looking at a situation where you don't even have any money to save in the first place. I'm looking at a point where you have 0 naira. So how do you start? Are people who are at that level permanently, disadvantaged by life? The answer is no. And I'm going to offer you today 4 levels of value, or you can say 4 ways, or how would I put this? I would say the 4 ladders in the journey of wealth from point zero. That's the emphasis. So the first one is implementation. Second one is unification. Third one is communication. The fourth one is imagination. Remember, we're looking at the 4 levels of value. First is implementation. Second, unification. Communication, imagination. Again, implementation, unification, communication, and imagination. So the first one, implementation. The journey, if you're starting out to become wealthy and rich from point zero, the first level is implementation. The journey starts physical first. It begins with physical strength. You get money in exchange for your time, your power, your muscles, and your efforts. If you are not technical at first, you will need to be physical at first until time passes and then you become technical. At first, you will be told what to do, where to go, how to do it, how long to do it, etc. Examples of people in this category will be like factory workers, site workers, and what I'm saying in essence is this: that if you're starting out on the journey and like you are down to zero, you don't have anything at all, the first place you start is to exchange your muscles, your power, your effort, your time for money, and that level is called implementation. Second level is unification. After a while, your experience of some technical skills, your knowledge of some certain things, how they work, gets you management roles or managerial roles. Supervisory roles is more accurate. You tell people what to do, you motivate manual laborers to work, you make sure the physical job gets done properly. Remember, we started with implementation. Next is unification. In unification, you have spent some time exchanging your muscles for money. And over time, your superiors have noticed that, okay, you've spent time on this job and they now trust you with managerial or supervisory roles. In other words, you graduate to the point where this time around, you're not exchanging your muscles for money anymore. You are now overseeing people who exchange their muscles for money. That level is called unification. You are in charge of a team of people, a group of people at the job. Maybe if we're using the example of a construction site, for instance, now, that first level implementation rather will be that you go to the site, you carry head pan and all, just general example. Second level, which is unification, means that you are now trusted to organize labors, for maybe a casting job, a bricklaying work, but you are now responsible to unify a group of laborers. Third is communication. If you are starting out on this journey to become rich from point zero, the third level or the third ladder will be communication. The use of your mouth now to make money. This is where the fun begins. Politicians, communicators, preachers, trainers, coaches, authors, speakers, consultants, they are all in this category. Even marketers, they communicate how to be more persuasive, how to be more influential, and all of that. Even affiliate marketers, they are here. Email marketers, online and physical network marketing generally. In other words, remember that we started out from implementation, then we got to unification. Now we're in communication. That after a while, You are now realizing that your mouth can get the job done. This time around, you are not overseeing a team of laborers. Now you are not using your mouth to talk to people and get job by yourself. You can motivate people. You can organize things. You can, what's the word now? You can persuade. You can influence because you've grown in the ranks. Finally, is imagination. Here, the mind and your money combine to work together. You build a new startup company, you found a tech company, you put together a plan, a system. You shall use your mind. That's the word. You use your mind, your imagination. You assemble programs or programmers to implement or a certain venture, and then you assemble marketers now to sell it. The whole idea is here you are dealing with your imagination. Your imagination combines with your money to get you some more money and make you financially independent. This requires most focused concentration mentally in your thoughts. Building a brand is no joke. Small boys play the game, don't play the game at this point. Rather, this is not the place where little boys play the game. This is what we will call deep dive. Like you've entered into the ocean where the big boys play the game. They use their mind. Funny enough, if you realize that the higher you go in any field, the higher you go, the less physical the work, but the more the mental, how will I put this? I'm looking at a way to deconstruct it. The idea is, the higher you go in any field, the less physical the work, the more the pay, but then the more mental. And then the lower you go, the less the money, the less mental work required, but then the more physical. Did you get that? I'm saying that in any field, the higher you climb the ranks, the less the physical job, the more the pay, and then the more your mental and your brain power is engaged. But then as you climb down, the less money you make, and then the more physical you engage yourself. So, but there's something missing which I'll address in the next video, which is that we're discussing the 4 levels of value, how that you're starting out to make money from point zero, correct? And then the first level was implementation, where you use physical powers. Second level is unification. Third level is communication. Fourth level is imagination. So now the question now is that, what do you do in between? What do you do in between? When you were a manual laborer using your physical powers, what were you supposed to do with the money you made? By the time you move to a unifier or a communicator or an imaginator, what do you do? Which is what I'm going to be addressing in the next